Welcome to Graceful Art Designs. Stay with me as I transform this beautiful white canvas into one is sketching on the diagram, and the subject today is peace lilies and Asiatic lilies. So this is the Asiatic lily and this is the peace lilies, white peace lilies that most people know. Most people also know these as just as lilies. I don't know if that. Step 2, the colors I'm starting with are emerald green, sap green, permanent green light, ultramarine blue, and a cobalt blue. And I'm first going to add the green to the vase, and then I'll use different greens for the background. Now I had to outline the drawing, which I sketched with a pencil crayon. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it actually while I was doing it. And I just had to go by, almost by instinct. And so in order for me to see what I'm doing, when I put the colors in, I had to outline it with a silver marker pen. It's not precise. It's never precise, my sketches, but it's just there to give me a guide as to where I'm going to put my base colors around it, so I don't go into the drawing, because I don't want to put those colors in here or in the flower, etc. So as you can see, I've started with the the permanent green light, and I'm just putting little patches of it everywhere in the vase until the vase is covered. This is step 2 continuing. You can see I've used the 2 greens so far, and I've added both those greens into all the leaves. Now my painting is intended to be helpful to beginners, intermediate and advanced artists, anyone who wants to paint, anyone who wants new ideas, anyone who wants to see how other artists paint. And there are so many ways, and it can sometimes be very confusing on the internet when you watch people paint. Many of them don't talk, they just put music on, they don't explain what they're doing, and maybe that's what some people want. They don't want to necessarily paint themselves, they just want to see what other people do or see beautiful paintings. So that's fine, but I think that while I'm producing what I consider a beautiful or lovely painting, at the same time I might as well share my knowledge and help someone else who might not have a clue where to begin, or might know how to paint but not have any ideas, or all different reasons. So that's why I explain with as much detail as I do. Anyways, as you can see, I'm now onto the 3rd color of sap green, which is sap green, and I have added the different greens onto the leaves, and I will continue adding. And this brush is quite rough now, so it's producing nice striations for the leaves. And you definitely don't want your leaves to all be the same color. But these flowers, lilies, do have very bright leaves, so I won't dull them down too much, but I will try and make sure that they're all different colors. After that, I will add the blues. My vase is almost complete, but there's still some space, so I'm adding some more emerald green in the spaces, and at the same time I might just blend the greens and the blues and whatever's left together, because that also creates a nice effect. And just add in the shapes, in no particular order. I pick up one color and then I try to use everything that's on my brush before I move on to the next color. So it's one way to do it. Or you can say I want to do emerald green there and there and there and there and there. So there's a bit of it everywhere. And then start with the next color, and then just add this 3rd color on to attach it to one of those colors that you already have. That's basically what I do from the 2nd color on, and then it fills up in the gaps everywhere with this emerald green. And depending on how it looks when it's dried, and what I want the end result to be, I may glaze over it with a layer of zinc white, or I may glaze over it with a layer of olive green or sap green. I'll first do the background and then decide. For the background, I've got Ceres blue, Pthalo green, and Veridian hue. And so I'm just using a different brush now because the other one is a bit worn, and I want this to look a bit smoother. should be the lighter colours on the left side, at the top. It's not really important. It's not like I'm doing a traditional background, light and dark. I just want the lower end to be darker. And so that the phthalo greens and the phthalo blue will definitely make that darker. The lighter blue at the top. That's the background completed, except for the flowers. Now with a clean brush, I'm going to just blend the background colours together, and you'll see it just seems to show up. But now I'm going to blend the colours together with this brush, and because they're all cool colours, they will bring the vase and the flowers forward. And the flowers are going to be white. It's an intermediate colour, not neither cool nor warm, but there will be other little bits of sort of plummish red in the stamens, and a bit of green and blue mixed, a bit of pink mixed in the veins. So the background colours to be in the background and for the other colours to recede. And also this is not complete. I'm going to definitely do a layer of white over the background and then maybe a layer of green over the vase. So that's what I'm going to do now. And you'll see it, blending the colours just together to fill up those gaps adds to the lovely sort of turquoisey effect that you get. So I guess I should start in the corner and make sure that I cover all the spots, because I don't want canvas showing in the end. And although I will put the glaze of white over it, that also might, miss some of the spots. You never know with my vision. I just want to make sure the canvas is covered. That's the background done, and now I'm doing the vase, and the same applies. I could clean my brush between each colour, but why would I do that? I like the colours to mix. You get such lovely colours when you mix blue and green. So many different shades of turquoise. And just to smooth out the colours, because some of them are a bit thick where they shouldn't be, like there. It's a bigger canvas than I normally do, so my little shapes are also a little bit larger than they normally are. But it's a 40 by 40, so it is quite large. It's a large vase, and for a large flower in the centre, which I did want to stand out. Now the vase didn't have to be quite this big. It could have been a little like that, I suppose, but it's okay. Step 2, continuing. So this is now blocking in the background of the flowers, and for this big Asian lily, I'm doing a light pink background because I want the two whites to look different, and it was meant to have a bit more white than this. And obviously I'm going to need to let these colours dry before I put on the final layer, but for now it's fine. I do want to quickly go over that vase with this brush, because the other brush was still making striations, and I want it to be really smooth. I don't mind the striations on the leaves, that's very nice, but not on the flowers. So tell me what you think of this kind of background. And well, I've also used it in some paintings, as you would have seen, in the actual flowers, but not this time. Decided I really didn't want it in these flowers. And tell me what you think. Have you tried it? How has it worked for you? Do you like the potential for all the different color combinations you can use, and you can dilute them with white, or use a translucent color to just cover them over, the different options. And also you can sometimes just do them in the shapes inside the flowers, and not in the background at all, or not in the vase. However you want to. Do let me know in the comments what you think, because it does help me to decide on what I should do for future paintings, what people want to see. It's great that I like it, but I do want my viewers to also enjoy what they're seeing. and to see the kind of paintings that they would like to see. So all your feedback is really appreciated. Even just little hearts or whatever, just to say you liked it. It all makes a difference. And now with a mixture of the white and the naples, just a little touch of naples yellow. It gives a nice color for a background of a flower. So I'm going to do these peace lilies in this color. And if you bring in some of the, the outer colors in, that's also okay. It's not the final layer, and all color adds to the beauty of the flowers. The peace lilies are smaller than the big Asiatic lily, but another place where there should be green or blue. Shows through in a kind of like a golden light, so a golden color, so that's fine. That's my painting so far, and as you can see, I've outlined the big lily in pink. It's lovely fuchsia pink, and the peace lilies I've just left without an outline other than that silver outline, which I can still see. And I've unified all the background and colors and the colors in the vase. I'm not going to glaze over with white right now. I will leave it for a day. Otherwise, if I use the white now, it would just blur everything together. I don't want that. I want the glaze over it with white, but I want the little shapes still to show through, just to recede a little into the background. I think either in olive green or sap green. But anyway, I do want to know whether you, as the viewer, like hearing me explain everything I do, or whether you would prefer it if there was just music on and I just left an explanation in the description below. I think it's nicer to actually hear and see at the same time what the artist is doing. Obviously, I don't record every move I make, but I give you a general explanation of each step I'm taking. So I would love to hear from you in the comments and just get some feedback. Painting has dried overnight. It's dry to the touch in most places, except here there's a little color and here there's more color coming off. But it's dry enough for me to glaze over. And I've made the decision not to use white in the glaze on the background. The background has come out more blue, even though I used 2 blues and 2 greens. You can see the 2 greens there, but maybe the blues, well, I mean, there are 2 blues there and a little bit of the light blue. This was essentially the same blue, just a bit more thinned out, and yet it seems to predominate. So I'm going to I'm still deciding whether to glaze that over in phthalo blue or phthalo green. I'll see how this olive green affects the vase. It's a very diluted, you can see there, very diluted, thinned out, and I've put the brush into the oil again after putting it in that diluted oil. And I'm just going to glaze over this vase and see what that looks like. I do prefer the olive green to the sap green. And I didn't use that, I didn't use olive green in the vase mixtures. That's the sap green. So let's see what this does. I think it'll give it a nice unifying effect. The glaze has turned out very nicely. I think it's a lovely color, the olive green. I'm going to use it afterwards in the leaves as well. And I've decided I'm going to use the phthalo blue for the background, very diluted. I only put out a very little because I put far too much of the olive green out. And when you dilute it, you really don't need a lot of paint. You just use a lot of oil. So even that might be more than enough. And it's kind of looks turquoisey when you dilute it. Maybe that's why the background looks so blue. It seems phthalo blue is more on the turquoise side. Anyway, I think it's going to look nice. I just need to add more oil.